Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing two different videos. This one is for the guys and the other one's going to be for the girls. So if you're a girl, you should stop watching now unless you want to hear what I have to say about guys' rooms. I don't know. Maybe you could get some ideas on how to make your space look cool or something. So basically this video is going to be talking about my ideas for how to decorate a guy's room. Obviously I'm not a guy, so this is really just the girl's perspective on what we do and do not like generally about guys' rooms. I'm probably not going to talk about things I don't like, probably just tell you guys some things that I think are cool that make your room look awesome and why I think that guys' rooms are better than girls' rooms in general. Guys' rooms and girls' rooms are very different just because the way you set them up are totally different because when you're decorating a girl's room, you're trying to get all the frou-frou stuff you can and you've got lots of pictures and you're trying to look creative so that all the other girls are super jealous and all that kind of stuff. But a guy's room is totally different. Girls want to go to guys' rooms because they're chill. They're a cool place to hang out and do dumb stuff, and you don't have to be all girly and whatever. So, a guy's room, there are very few things that are necessary to decorate a guy's room in order to make it look cool. So, number one thing that guys should have in their room is a pretty decently sized TV because, for the most part, girls come to guys' rooms because they want to watch a movie or something like that. They don't want to be in their room anymore. They're sick of their roommate or whatever. They just want to go be around guys for a little bit and do something else. So I recommend, I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy yourself a flat screen TV or anything like that. If you have one, that's cool. But if you don't need to go buy one. So if you don't have a decently sized TV, then I would say go check out your local Goodwills because people drop off their old TVs all the time, especially now since everybody's buying flat screen TVs. Just go and check out Goodwill. They've got some pretty nice sized ones, especially at mine, and I live in a dinky town, so it's surprising that there's good TVs there. But there are, so just go and find one. They're going to be like 25 or 30 bucks, maybe even 15. So I just recommend that because you're going to want a TV in the first place, so you might as well just get a good sized one. Tiny ones, they're kind of pointless just because you're the only person that can watch them, so nobody's ever going to want to come to your room. And unless you like hate people or something, then there's kind of no point to that. So having a decently sized TV is kind of the building blocks for a guy's room. After that, everything else just kind of falls into place. So another reason or another thing that guys should have in their room is a decent movie collection. And I just think this because all my guy friends have a lot of movies, and I think that most guys generally have a lot of movies. I'm not saying go out and buy a whole bunch if you don't have any, but maybe start asking for some. Maybe buy a couple before you go to school. A good place to go buy movies, and I only know this because my brother works at FYE, but FYE is for your entertainment, and their used DVDs are buy one or buy two get one free, I think is what it is. I got like 6 movies or something like that before I came here for my sophomore year. So that was pretty cool. I recommend going there. They've got a lot of movies. I got brand new movies. They just came out like 3 months before that, and people had sold them there, and so they're technically used, but they've never been opened. So that's a really good option. So movies I recommend for guys. You should have the action thriller movies because every once in a while girls specifically like to watch those, but guys like to watch those like all the time. So having those, other guys will think you're cool. So that way you can just like pop in Jarhead or whatever. I don't know what guys watch, but something like that. Also, having comedies are good because not all the time, you're not going to always want to watch the thriller movies or whatever. And you shouldn't just have scary movies because if girls ever come over, they're not going to want to just watch scary movies necessarily. Unless you get a really cool girl somehow that loves scary movies. I'm not one of them. And I don't know very many that are super into scary movies, but there's some. They're out there. I recommend also, so I like comedies. I think comedies are good because especially when you don't know people very well, that's kind of how you get to know them. You watch a comedy with them, and then all of a sudden you have something to talk about because you just watch a super funny movie. You've got inside jokes and all this stuff. So I think that comedies are a really great way to break the ice. My favorite movie is Hot Rod. Freaking funny, super quotable, comes up in conversation all the time. I quote it on a regular basis. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's whatever. If you're looking for a movie that's kind of in between the chick flick and the comedy, I recommend Easy A. I think that one's really funny. It was on Netflix Instant Play. Tried to watch it last night and it's gone. So buying EZA would be a good idea, just because it's kind of like, it's super funny, and it's also kind of a chick flick, so then girls are going to think, oh, he's so cool, he's kind of sensitive, or whatever, I don't know. Sorry, this is kind of turning into like a how to get girls to like you thing, but a guy's room should be accessible to girls and guys. And if you have movies, guys are going to think you're cool. And if you have a decently sized TV, then they're going to want to hang out in your room versus their own because they don't have a decently sized TV. So this is really a win-win situation for both genders. So after you have your TV, you've got your movies, I think it's really important for guys to also have video games. Most of you guys have them anyway, so you might as well just bring them and use them. So you've got PlayStation, Xbox, Wii's, but my personal favorite is the Nintendo 64 because I think that the Nintendo 64 is a real good icebreaker because everybody played that. Girls think they're so good at it because they played it way back in the day and they thought that they were good then, so they must still be good now. Most girls have not played Call of Duty. I dabbled, it was terrible, so I'm all about the Nintendo 64 games because I know how to play those. That's how most girls are, and I just think that they're good for guys too, just as a fun icebreaker, hanging out, chilling, not being super competitive or anything like that, just because everybody played that game so they remember it and it's, you know, memorable. But I think that this is a good example of when guys should, this is like how guys hang out with other guys playing Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff, because guys like shooting games, guys like shooting other guys, it's fun for whatever reason, they're into that. You guys are into that. So, I think that it's cool to leave your door open, especially during the first couple of weeks, because that's how you meet people. That way, when other guys are walking down the hall and they hear you shooting up other people, they're going to be like, huh, maybe I'll go talk to him because we have something in common. So I think that that's why video games are cool and why you should always bring video games to college. Another way to make a guy's space look cool, I think, is by having some kind of chair in the room other than the desk chair that they give you, and then your bed is the only other place you can sit. And guys don't really like sitting on beds with other guys. It's kind of weird. So I recommend having an extra chair there, like a beanbag chair. They have these cube chairs at Target. You have to go into Target. They don't have them online anymore. So I would do that. Check that out. Also, the saucer chairs are cool because they fold up, and that way you can just stick those kinds of things up above your closet, so that way when you're not using it, you don't have to have it down there, which is nice. I like those just because it makes your space feel a little bit more chill. It's relaxed. People like to sit down on the floor kind of stuff just because it's not as rigid or whatever. So that's cool. That way you've got a space for people to watch movies, play video games, just chill, play some like apples to apples or whatever. So I think that having a chair in your room other than the chairs that they give you is really smart. Here you've got your cool TV, your cool movies, and your super awesome Nintendo 64 or Xbox, PlayStation, Wii combo. And you've got your cool chairs that are super chill and really comfortable and really nice and make everybody want to be in your room all the time. You need to kind of like look at your walls and realize that they're super white or brick, and that's going to be really boring after a while to look at. So I recommend posters. The reason why I like posters for guys is because it's a conversation starter, especially if they're the ones that have like a list on them, like lists of like, let's see, oh, Wedding Crashers. There's a poster for Wedding Crashers, and I think that's a really funny movie, but it's got a list of like things you do or don't do as a wedding crasher or something like that. I thought those were really funny. I had a guy friend that had one of those. Good conversation starter. Gets awkward all of a sudden. You're like, what do we talk about? You just kind of like look up at the poster. Somebody else is going to look at the poster, start reading it, and laugh. And then you're going to be like, oh, yeah, isn't that funny poster? Yeah, so if you have something like that, it's a good conversation starter, and it covers up your walls, which is nice. Another thing that I saw, Walmart has black lights, like strips of these blacklight strips for like 20 bucks, and I thought that would be cool thing to put in your room. You could do a strobe light, kind of gives people headaches, so if you don't mind giving people headaches, then that's cool. This video is helpful to you, that you like my ideas. If you didn't, sorry. So leave your comments below. If I forgot anything, if you've come up with something that I missed, just let me know. That'd be super cool, and maybe I'll make like a redo video with added things that I hadn't thought of yet. Otherwise, thanks guys!